uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom.
Well, hello there, humans of these earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Today, we're going to be doing it together as we talk about Update 3.1, the brand spanking new, fresh to the drop PUBG Mobile changes, the new patch that's going to be popping all over and up under. This is the patch. There's no longer going to be a beta. It looks like it's finalized and it's going to be shipping out now for you grubs real shortly. I'm not going to be talking about the fancy theme modes and changes to Miramar. We'll be doing all of that in general gameplay. What I want to talk about is general updates and improvements, because for me, PUBG Mobile, in its essence, is a battle royale where you gunfight. And the changes to those guns and the mechanics of those guns is what makes me excited about the game. I thank you very much for watching. If you like the video and you want to see more content like this, subscribe, leave a comment, follow along, and we do streams every Sunday and Thursday evening and A time. We do Patreon streams where everyone joins in and chats in the private Discord. It's a lot of fun. Check that out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. First and foremost, the revamped P90. The P90, it's a world drop right now, but after the revamp, it's going to be the first SMG ever to be found in airdrop crates. And that is pretty exciting stuff. SMGs on the whole have been incredibly popular as CQC weapons for an awfully long time. We've seen the Uzi and the UMP both have periods at the top of the table where they are the preeminent PvP weapon in CQC. But for all that, this is absolutely exciting to have a SMG in a crate. And it looks very much like it's going to be following the footsteps of the Game for Peace and the PUBG PC ticket, where they get its own unique 5.7mm ammo. So the thing about the SMG that is already going to stick, that was the same as it was before, it's going to have the same kind of characteristics: an extraordinarily high rate of fire and extremely low recoil, allowing it to be just easy to use in both CQC and ADS. A lot of people don't understand this, but the P90 was already a very good 3x spraying 9mm weapon on Livic. It just didn't get played as much because the M416 exists and people just love that, and it's really good at spraying. It comes with a built-in suppressor and laser sight, but cannot be equipped with other attachments. That's not such a big deal. The only attachment that I think you'd really want with it would be a barrel extender that would increase the bullet speed, because that's its real downfall. It has an exclusive sight that can switch between 2 different levels of magnification, which is pretty exciting, really. And I like it when they do different things like that for the gameplay. Now, I haven't been on the beta myself because I don't have access to the beta. I'm on iOS, and for some reason, it's incredibly difficult to get on iOS. And every time I get on it, the very next patch I get kicked off, and I've just given up asking the poor guys and girls at PUBG Mobile to put me back on. There is going to be some huge rifle adjustments for the Ace-32. Now, this is one sentence, but I want you to think about how much time they've spent frigging around with 7.62 weapons. Every patch we seem to get a change to 7.62 weapons. The Ace-32 now has received reduced vertical and horizontal recoil, a faster firing animation, improved firing stability, and slightly increased fire rate. Now, stability generally refers to animation kick. Animation kick is when you fire the round, it's not how far you end up with your reticle being above center. It's actually how, when you fire around, it will go all the way up to the top of the screen, and then it will drop back down to a position. That's the kick. It actually goes up, and then the recoil adjusts back down. And the higher that kick, the harder it is to control recoil. You see it on like DMRs. There's a big kick on SKSs and particularly on SLRs. That's why people don't like running the SLR. The Ace-32 is renowned for it. You know, when you fire the Ace-32, it feels like you're on a pogo stick. It just kicks up, and it keeps coming back. But that high kick makes it very difficult to judge recoil, because while it's kicking all the way up there, you've got to then judge left, right, and down as well. That's really important. So returning, and it's also having increased firing stability. That's how close to the actual 0 point of the screen when you press the button, the reticle comes back to. So it's going to kick less up and it's going to come back closer to the 0 point on the screen, which is really, really good news. And a slightly increased rate of fire. Now, the M762 is getting a few touch-ups. It's getting a slightly reduced recoil and a slightly faster firing animation. I'll be frank with you, I don't know what the hell the faster firing animation is going to do one way or another, but I'm all on board for slightly reduced recoil. I'm a little bit puzzled though. Like, to me, this just brings the M762 and the Ace32 now into nearly exactly the same studio space. They're both going to have extraordinarily similar amounts of recoil, damage, and rate of fire. The Ace32 might be a touch above, but it's not going to be as good as this thing, the Graza. It's not going to be as good as the AKM, and if it is, I just don't get it. Again, no one is touching the M416, the golden child, the chosen one of PUBG Mobile. It remains. Happy days. Then the next adjustment is the one everyone's been waiting for. The DBS now has slightly decreased firing interval and reduced damage multiplier for hitting the head and body. Now, I read that and I was very confused. Slightly decreased firing interval. What the hell does a slightly decreased firing interval mean? Because a slightly decreased firing interval would mean you could tap the button quicker, which isn't really good news. And what I think there's been a little bit lost in translation here, and I think what this actually is a longer period of time before you can press the button for a double tap, which is a brilliant change. It's an absolutely brilliant change. How long that increase is going to determine whether I am 2 thumbs up on this patch or 2 thumbs down. Because literally the DBS is the stupidest no-skill weapon I've ever come across in PUBG Mobile. It's broken. Like, if you don't think it's broken, I can't help you with your PUBG Mobile life. Like, the fact that you can use that gun, fire, instantly fire again, and keep doing it 7 more times, firing double shots, is crazy. Like, there is no other gun where there is a well-drop weapon that is so much better than everything else of that description. Like, it's like a better S12K, but also it's like a better over-under. And it's better than those weapons in huge amounts. It relegates every other single, like the 5.56 ARs. The AUG is a better CQC weapon. The SCAR-L is a heavier hitter. The M416 is a better sprayer. The 7.62 ARs. The AKM is amazing in hipfire and CQC in close, but terrible at range. The M762 is better at spraying, and you get all these different things, but the DBS is just absolutely broken. So reducing the damage multiplier for hitting the head and body is a big step forward. That everyone has base damage on the weapons. How much of a damage multiplier you have on that determines how strong the weapon is. For instance, the headshot multiplier for SMGs, I forget the exact number. It's like 1.7, whereas it's like 2.1 or something for, and I have these exact numbers. I just don't have them to hand because I couldn't be bothered looking. So that's why a UMP does 42.6 base damage or 42.8 base damage, but only 78 damage as a headshot, whereas a Honey Badger does 42.6 damage, base damage, but 96 damage as a headshot, or even maybe 98. You get the point. Like, ARs do more headshot damage. Well, that's that multiplier, lowering it just for the DBS, not for all shotguns, is a really interesting move. It just goes to show that they're more than willing to nerf the DBS on its own in a way that doesn't negatively impact all the shotguns in the game. Also, the M1014 having an increased damage to Craig, this means it's going to get a bigger damage level. 25 meters is going to do less damage. Which is good because it shouldn't be used and be as effective as it is at extraordinarily long ranges. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. We'll obviously be going forward with this and talking about it a lot more. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and comment below, and we'll do some stuff. Just let me know what you're after. Until next time, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.